Okay, I'm going to go through some more CDs. Let's put this box back. This box bag, whatever you want to call it, and take this one out. There we go. Nice lime green colour. Let's see what interesting wares we have inside here. Okay, let's get inside this and see what we have to show you today. Right, no promos in this one. These are all ones that I've bought myself. So let's go through. Right. Excretion, I think that is. Pretty sure that's excretion. It looks like excretion, but it's excretion, I believe. Excretion? Yeah, excretion. They're not as crap as they sound. Yeah, I can't remember where these guys are from. Maybe Swedish, kind of mellow death, perhaps on Wrong Again Records. Possibly Swedish. I think they weren't too bad though. But just not super memorable, you know what I mean? Not one of those ones I could say, oh yeah, check these guys out, they were the best thing ever. I think they were capable of what they were doing, but they weren't like blowing anybody away like completely. Right, Sadus, one of the latest Sadus albums. Sadus, you pronounce it how you like. But of course the real gems of this band are Black Manifestations, you know, what's it called? Something Black. And I don't know, I can't remember the name of the albums now. But yeah, the early albums by Sadus are really cool, kind of death thrash. Okay, this is a UK band. These guys played at the Brain Dead Club where I used to put gigs on in East London, the Walthamstow Royal Standard. Full of Hate. One of these guys went on to join Gore Rotted for a time. I can't remember what his name was now, but he was a nice chap. He was a cool fella. Yeah, this was his band Full of Hate. They played with us. I interviewed him in my fanzine as well. Put him on one of my compilation tapes, I'm sure. Yeah, this was kind of like a deathy, thrashy kind of thing. Pretty decent, but not like nothing to blow anybody away. Right, Swedish kind of melodic death, little sort of many black death. A Canorous Quintet, Silence of the World Beyond. Right, yeah. There were so many bands going around with this kind of style that it was hard for them to break out from, you know, from the rest of the herd kind of thing. But yeah, but these were a cool band, the Canorous Quintet. I mean, I liked them, listened to them at the time, but it's one of those ones, ask me to name a song, I'll be like, no. I mean, I can remember the name of the band, but yeah, other than that. Right, yeah, Solstice, this is the American thrashing Solstice, their album Prey. Not to be confused with the Doom Solstice from the UK. Abominant. These guys are from Kentucky, I believe. This is the right band, isn't it? Yeah, Kentucky. I used to do a fanzine called Kentucky Fried Afterbirth. So I like to try and get hold of Kentucky bands to do interviews with and stuff. Right, and Abominant was one of the bands that I checked out. They're a really good band, actually. They've got quite a lot of albums. Been going for a long old time. It must be coming up to about 10 albums now. As far as I know, they're still going. But I say, I interviewed them in my fanzine, put them on a compilation, I'm sure. And they were on a label, Deathgasm Records. This one's on Wild Rags, but I'm sure they went on to Deathgasm Records afterwards, which was another guy that I interviewed. He was in a band called Avulsion. I can't remember now. Now, Avulsion is the Spanish death metal band, isn't it? And Avulsion was the Georgian death metal band called Avulsion. My brain's going off all sorts of tangents there. But anyway, Brutal Insanity, these were a UK death metal band. The drummer went on to so many other bands in the UK, including Gore Rotted. I think Gore Rotted he went to after this. I think these guys played at one at my venue. I can't remember now if they came down to play at my venue or not. Really can't recall now. But yeah, these were pretty cool anyway. Pretty cool death metal, good brutal death metal stuff. Right. My battery is low on my laptop. Never mind. Abramelin. These are Australian death metal. Again, pretty cool stuff. I can't remember off the top of my head. I remember liking it at the time I was listening to it, but I couldn't sort of name you any of the tracks or remember how the tracks go. I just remember them being good, really. Right, I just noticed tucked down the side here, I've got a few promos. Oh, on both sides. We've got promos tucked down both sides. I really make the use of the space in these bags. Right, let's go for these promos. Hypnos, Czechoslovakian, I think, Czech Republic death metal band, pretty cool. They're still going. They brought out an album a couple of years ago that I played. It's something called The Black Crow or something like that, to do with like the plague doctors. Right, there's an Arctic Serenades promo, a short-lived label that kind of I think he bit off more than he could chew, and he started ripping people off. But I don't think he meant to, but it happened. These things do happen sometimes. Right, yeah, that was a band called My Garden. I think they were like a Turkish doomy death kind of band. It's a 4-track EP, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Cryptopsy, Canadian death metal, if I recall correctly. Started off pretty cool. They've got deathcore now though, which is a bit strange. Right, this next one, I can't even read it, so I'm gonna open it up and see if I can find out who it is before I actually show it to you. Right, Centinex, more Swedish death metal, I'm pretty sure. Embolism, possibly Slovakian. They're on a Slovakian label anyway. Catafalque promo from 2001. I'm looking at the back. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. These are Dutch, Netherlands. These guys, I think I picked these up when I was in Holland, actually, when I went to Groningen, because I think they recorded it in Groningen. I think they were from Groningen. I'm pretty sure there was a shop that I used to, when I go to Holland, I'd try and pick up some stuff while I was there, and I'm pretty sure I picked this one up. Who was that other? There's the Altar I've spoken about before. I picked up a few times there. And there was another band, I can't remember what the name of the band is now. Not Intense, but something like that. What was the name of that band? If it comes to me, I'll let you know. But they were pretty cool. Dark Tranquility. Nyctophobic. Kind of grind. I think they were Finnish. But, don't quote me on that. And Elastis. A kind of slightly doom deathy kind of gothic-y, I believe. Right, let's look at this other promo that I can't work out the blinking logo to. It's on Woodcut Records. Funeris Nocturnum. Yeah, no wonder I couldn't read it. Funeris Nocturnum is the name of this here band on Woodcut Records. I'm pretty sure that's some black metal going on there with a name like that. And I think Woodcut Records, I think they did a lot of black metal on there actually. Right, so that's the little promos from inside that bag. Some more Cannibal Corpse, Butchered at Birth. Don't need to say anything more about that, other than the fact it's a sick cover. Toxic Holocaust, great thrash metal. Suffocation, good bit of US death metal there. Right, and this one's, see, my bags are all mixed up. Now this is Swedish rock folk, basically. It's just like traditional Swedish folk songs, but slightly metalled up, and I mean only very slightly. But I really just enjoyed this so much. When I was doing my fanzine back in the day, I was doing interviews with bands and that, and there was the band Forlorn, a doom metal band from, is it Norway or Sweden? I think it's Sweden, because they said it's Swedish folk, man. It must be Sweden, yeah. And they had a band called Wind Rider. I think it had a couple of members that are in this Wind Rider. They were in Forlorn. I think there was another band they were in as well, maybe like Withered Beauty or something like that. I don't think it was Withered Beauty though, because I think they were Danish. But there was definitely, I'm sure there was another band, Windwalker, Forlorn. I'm sure there was another band. And at the very end of this tape that they sent me, they bunged a couple of tracks of February '93 on there. Literally, I think it was one track and a half track they cut off. And I really liked it. I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. I like this. This is like really getting under my, getting in my head, get complete earworms kind of thing. So eventually I managed to pick up the full album with that. And then there was one track that they gave me on the tape that they sent me. It's literally only half a track cut off. It was a cover of an English folk song called Scarborough Fair. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Anyway, so I got in touch with the band like a long time afterwards. I said, look, you sent me this track at the end of a blinking tape ages ago. It's not on your album. Any chance you've got a copy of that for me, an MP3 of it? And he was like, yeah, no problem. And he sent it to me. And then my hard drive blanking crashed, and now I've lost it again. And if there's some miracle, the guys from February '93, I think they've moved on. They went on to what's the band? What's the name that Forlorn changed to? Oh, it's not Ereb Altar, is it? No. Flipping heck. They played in London a while back, and I went to see them. And they played a couple of Forlorn tracks when they actually did it. I think there's a song called The End that they played still from their Forlorn days. Oh, it's it begins with an I, the name of the new Doom band that they're in. Oh, but once again, my brain is not picturing it. Yeah, never mind. Soul Embraced. I think these were Christian death metal, actually. I played, pretty sure I put them on one of my compilation CDs back in the day. Pretty cool death metal. Same with these guys. Inversion. I think they were a Christian death metal band as well. Yeah. Pretty damn good as well. I put these on the compilation tape as well. I've got a mate, one of my best mates actually, yeah, possibly my best mate, who's in Bloodwork, who are a Christian sort of extreme metal band, and he was always like hitting me up with some cool Christian death metal, thrash metal, whatever. And to be honest, I don't give a I'm not a Christian at all. I don't believe in it in the slightest. I'm not a Satanist. I'm just because I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I just believe in us here on the earth, and so I don't care if you want to sing about Satan, if you want to sing about God. As far as I'm concerned, you could be singing about Lord of the Rings. It's the same made-up kind of thing, as far as I'm concerned. It's just something to sing about. So I don't care if it's Christian metal, if it's death metal, black metal. I'll listen to everything as long as I think it sounds good. Right, Asphyx. It says thrash on the label, but I'm pretty sure they're kind of death metal, maybe death thrash. But yeah, Asphyx, Dutch, awesomeness. Soils of Fate. These are really good actually. I really enjoyed this album when I listened to it, but I couldn't tell you now what it was sounded like. It's so long ago. I'm sure that label Retribute Records. I think it was a guy from the UK, and he had a band, and he started up a label as well, and this was one of the bands that he put on it. I can't remember what the name of his band was now, but this is back when I was doing my fanzine. There's just so many bands, so many things that you know from back in the day, but you've forgotten. And half the time, I think I make things up because I think I remember it, and then I kind of convince myself, I convince myself of things that probably aren't right, just because, it's really weird how memory works. Sometimes I wonder if I dream things. Sometimes I think there's things that, it's hard to explain. I don't bloody know. But yeah, I don't know where I was going now. Anyway, Unanimated, this band are. Unanimated, Ancient God of Evil. More kind of melodic-y, blackish death. Right, these band are called Medicine Death. I think they were from Brazil. Really poor cover on this. I don't know how I got it in this state. Some kind of trade. It's just some really badly. Look, it's not even a cover at all. But this is like, don't let the cover be, belie the coolness of the music. The production is not the greatest, but it's some really interesting kind of doom death on this actually. It's been a long time since I listened to it, but I remember I did like it back in the day. And this is looks like a CDR been printed on there. So yeah. And last for this box, but not least, Opera. Right, now I know it's Opera 9, it's IX, yeah, Roman numerals, Opera 9, but I always say Opera X because I'm an idiot and I like to read Roman numerals out as words. So this is Opera X with The Call of the Woods, a female-fronted black metal band. I think they're from Portugal. Or maybe Italy. No, it's Italy. I think it's Italy. It's an Italian label. So yeah, I think what's the name? I think the singer's name is Cadaveria, and she's gone on to do solo albums as well. Cadaveria. I think her name's Cadaveria anyway. But yeah, she's got a really harsh black metal delivery. Female-fronted bands. People think female-fronted bands. They think, oh, gothic. Nightwing. But if you want to hear a voice. The most pained and evil and dark and horrible, then a black metal female singer, or even some of the female death metal singers, just fucking out of this world. They can every much do the job of any bloke. You think basically all I'm saying is if you think only blokes can bloody sing metal, then you are harshly and seriously wrong, and you need to check yourself because women singers fucking really can blow you away. And talking of female singers, mention I think it's Melissa, her name is, from Adoria, a London black metal band. She's got a fucking throat on her. She's really cool. Anyway, that's it. I'm bloody out of here. Thanks for looking at my CDs. I'll be looking at some more next week. And also don't forget to check out my vinyl and my demos that I talk about. And also I do some digital stuff on Thursdays. Put out some digital crap. But the main thing Check out my compilation. Oh, I can't even get my words right now. Check out my podcast, High Speed Hangover Podcast. Every Sunday, I do a new show of High Speed Hangover Podcast, like 2.5 hours, 3 hours of excellent metal music. And the link, you can go and check that out. The link is down below. It links you to the blog where all 200 plus of my shows are available for you to check out. So please check those out. Thanks, guys and girls.